Hello guys and welcome to another spoiler video. While we're streaming this evening, FFG have dropped yet another article on us with a load of new cards. So I'm with Leighton and we're just going to talk through the new cards that were spoiled in a new Destiny article, which has got a lot of rivals and a couple of legacy cards in it as well. So first up, we've got BB9E, who, as has just been stated in Twitch chat, is basically BB8 with a little cape and a mustache, which I'd have to agree with.
Yeah, and his dice is very comparable to BB8. So BB8 having no damage, but his special being you to reroll this dice and one of your other dice, and then do not remove BB8. This one allows you to roll in to reroll an opponent's die.
Yeah, which is definitely better than re-rolling your own, I feel, but he's still not good.
It's got two damage sides. It's got a melee and the indirect. So
yeah.
It's a drafting card, right? You know,
Yeah.
it won't see much construction.
Well, this isn't a drafting card, right? Well, this is the Legacies, as you can tell by the little spaceship next to the number. So this is going to be good in like Dr. Aphra, right? Maybe if she gets to play droids cheaper, so you could play this for free.
Oh yeah, free droid, yeah.
Free droid, like for free, I guess I'd play it, because if you're playing that many droids, you're going to be slow, so it doesn't matter if you've got 7 droids or 2, you might as well just chuck one out. But as you say, if it does 1 damage a turn for nothing, it's reasonable.
Cool. Yeah. Let's go on to the next card, which is the T21 Repeating Blaster.
Which sounds really cool, like as far as gun names
image go. 13 of 42, if you want to flick through.
Got it here.
Cool, yeah. 2 ranged, modified, disrupt, resource, and a special, which costs you a resource, which is deal 2 damage to a character, then you may re-roll this die instead of removing it from your pool. It's cool, but the problem is, as we've seen from our previous video, previous discussion, there's so many new redeploy weapons, and when a weapon that costs 3 doesn't have redeploy, only has 2 black sides. Yeah, you know. This is a drafting card.
This is. So it's nice. It's a nice weapon, right? It costs more than the money you're going to get a turn, so it's going to be a bit rough to find a spot to play it. But you know, if you have no other choice, it's not horrendous by any stretch of the imagination. I don't like single disrupt on dice. I find it really, really meh and basically a blank.
Especially now that Imperial Inspection is a one and done, so therefore is just done. Yeah.
But it's still impactful when you end up with like 2 or 3 on the board, but it's not what you want to see. But 50% damage sides that all do 2. And the special is really sound, like being able to deal 2 damage and then be able to roll it in again and deal 2 damage and then be able to roll it in again. Also, you can't chain it in one single action, but over the course of a round, you could, as long as you've got the money, you could just keep rolling and resolving this.
Yeah, that's a dream world. I don't think that anyone's ever going to live.
No, it's like Black One could have, before they FAQ'd it, could have just one-shot an entire team if you managed to roll 25 6s in a row. You would have been fine. But yeah, as you say, in today's times, it's not going to happen. But I really like it. It's grey as well, so if you manage to get like one of those new Kylo speeders from the Legacy booster packs, it's slightly less damage.
Right, let's move on to Vibro Sword.
Vibro Sword. So it's a 3-cost grey neutral, 1 melee, 3 melee for 1, +2 melee, discard, resource. It's got redeploy. So it's basically the melee version of the Canto sniper, the Canto pistol that we saw from one of the content creators.
But it's better because it doesn't have indirect damage. It has 1 damage facing on 3 of its sides. So yeah, this is going to be seen in constructed play 100%. This will replace, I think, lightsabers in a lot of decks, because
you can play it in any color as well, which is just going to be the big advantage. And it's only got 1 less damage than a lightsaber, right? Because it's got the 3 for 1, it's got the +2, but then you've got a special that does 2 unblockable rather than just 1 normal melee damage.
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, and before any weapon that has redeploy on is just always got to be a consideration. And lightsaber only has 3 damage sides, so this has the same amount of damage sides as lightsaber. Lightsaber's only got a 3 for 1, a +2, and then the special.
Mm-hmm.
So you're basically trading your a special for a 1 damage. But then if you, I always just feel like sometimes you just want to get your damage just one and done, all in
Yeah.
one go, and then
Es-
get that claim and go
And
and go
especially
go
this thing
first.
can proc off like lightsaber throw and stuff where the lightsaber can't.
Yeah, and yeah. An extra side of lightsaber throw, so it might replace lightsaber, it might
Yeah.
not, but it's
Yeah.
still.
No, it's really interesting. It's got a discard rather than a disrupt as well, which is a much more relevant side as that game we just played where you just discarded all my great cards.
Yeah. Well, talking of lightsabers, if you click over to the
Yeah,
next card.
this card looks crazy. Is that in focus? Okay. Yeah, move that a little bit.
So yeah, 2-drop neutral blue crafted lightsaber. Play only on an exhausted character. 2 melee for a resource, 3 melee, and 2 resource sides. Now,
It's
really,
crazy.
that's all you ever want from a weapon: damage and
Crazy.
money to play other weapons or pay for other sides on
Yeah.
other things.
Like it's gonna
So,
suck if you don't see this turn one to play in like when you're playing constructed or even in a draft game. But you want to get this down turn one so that for the rest of the game you're doing crazy things. But it's just so cheap. It's got 50% damage sides. None of them are ones. It's got double money.
and yeah,
Oh, it's so
also
good.
with Imperial Armory anyway,
Hmm.
claim your character's exhausted, costs you 1. You've now got a super powerful weapon, good
Jeez.
to go.
Yeah, and to make another way of kind of making sure you see it in your first hand, you lightsaber pull. You can just grab it, right? It's a blue weapon, so
Yeah.
yeah, it's really good. It's actually scarily good. Like I thought
Mm.
the heirloom lightsaber, which was in the blue spoilers about a month ago, I thought that was crazy good with its like 1, 2, 3 sides. But
Like
I
in the
know
deck I just
this is
played, I
ridiculous.
played Night Sister, Pigman, and Royal Guard. I would play this over Crossguard
Yeah,
because I would just roll in I guess one of my guardians, block something, then play this and have this really good to go next time.
yeah,
Get
yeah.
some value out of it, then replace it with one of the many redeploy weapons that are now going to be available.
Yeah, yeah, it's so crazy good. I'm so looking forward to draft and just pitting at least one of these in my deck and then just doing crazy things with it.
So I'm really surprised that with this new next card, they've not just called it Fen Rao's spaceship, as they, refer to the TIE Sunter as Kylo Ren's Starfire, because this is
Look,
the Protectorate Starfire. So this is what the
is this an
pilots of
X-wing?
Concord, yes, what the pilots of Concord Dawn fly.
Yeah.
In fact, I believe that is the artwork of a card. I think it's even called the Concord Dawn Protector
Okay.
or something. I think it's what it's called. I'm now going to find out.
Okay. So while you're doing that, I'll read out the card. So we got 3 resources. It's a neutral red support vehicle, 2 range, 3 range, discard shield, something, which I assume will be resource, and then a blank. Ambush, so you get to take an additional action after you play it. That's kind of a thing I was going to point out with a lot of the weapons that we've been reviewing, is that you're not seeing ambush on them. Like with
No,
the
that's true.
two, with like the new vibro knife, the new holdout blaster, they seem to be removing a lot of.
Uh, it's it's a pilot called Cad Solus. They've stolen his artwork.
CAD Solus. Okay, as James just
Yeah.
pointed out, it is definitely a resource because you can see it on the top of the die.
Oh
But
yeah, it's on
resources
the
are
die.
always bottom under special, and it doesn't have a special, so it is
Oh
either
yeah,
a double
I just
shield
realised
or a resource.
ambush on a support vehicle.
Mm,
That's crazy good.
yeah,
Um,
unless you
because
kind of play it and roll
they're
it, right?
traditionally so slow. You mainly play support, in support decks, and
Hmm.
to be able to play it and then get it out straight away, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's interesting design. Like, there's been a lot of supports there which are like when you activate this, activate 2 other supports, which kind of speed up. But I don't know whether or not is really that relevant? Like, is when Hera plays this and she rolls it out, is that really good? Is that speed really impactful enough to really make a difference to the speed of your deck?
Yeah, I mean, compare this to the air speeder. It's got 3 instead of a 2,
Hmm.
and a resource instead of a special.
I think
And
that what it will do is let you do some crazy things with partnership, where if you kind of like partnership play the new Falcon, which lets you roll in the other stuff, I'm pretty sure, or lets you activate a character and you activate Hero, and then you roll out Mavs, and you can like chain all these ridiculous like supports together that let you activate other things, and then you pay to do additional actions, and then you're ambushing a support in, and then that way you can kind of sneak out some damage. But I really feel like you need all those cogs to kind of fit together so you can have these huge swing turns.
Cad Celis was a Mandalorian mercenary active during the Galactic Civil War. As a young boy, he was a slave. Just reading his page on the X-Wing wiki, like on big. Yeah, I think it's cool. It's another vehicle. It's another good vehicle. 2 damage sides.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's cool. And again, it's a good draft card.
yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
someone's about to get fisted.
Why? Oh
Crush
yeah,
the
that
rebellion.
that art is actually. Is he about to like? What's wrong with his face? Is he constipated or?
I think it's the dodgy CG from Rebels, from Rogue One. From Rogue One, sorry.
Yeah,
Right. So, 2-cost villain event: Crush the Rebellion. Remove a die showing damage, and if parentheses the 3 damage types. Then deal indirect damage to an opponent equal to half the value of that die rounded up. So it's basically Red's
deflect.
version of deflect, which doesn't require a spot, but can
Yeah,
hit any damage, but costs double the money.
yeah. Which, if this was Hero, I'd be more into it because Hero red removal is shockingly awful, uh, and this seems all right at 2, but I think I'd rather just play best defense or dealt. I think
Yeah.
2 just to remove 1 die and then do a bit of damage back. I
It's your
think it's
whole
just
turn's
too
worth of
much.
it's your whole turn's worth of resources to do at most
Yeah,
realistically 2 indirect damage when you hit remove a 3,
yeah,
because you're never removing a 1 or a 2 really with this card.
no,
Paying 2 to remove 2, just eat it.
yeah. Yeah, like obviously with the indirect damage sides, we're seeing them be a lot higher. Like Resistance Bomber's got a 6 side on it or something ridiculous, hasn't it? So
Oh
like
yeah.
doing like 3 damage for 2 is all right, but and as you say, I think maybe not in this set, but as the sets go through, we might just start seeing higher numbers with indirect damage, which would then make this card really really good. But
Hmm.
we need to start seeing 3s and 4s really common uh, to make this card worth playing.
Yeah. Mislead. Have we seen mislead? Remove a
Mislead.
character
No.
die showing a value of 2 or less. So blue, neutral, no spotting required.
Yeah. It's like in isolation, but no spot, but it can't do
It's
3s.
it's isolation mixed with electroshock
Yeah.
without the spot.
Yeah. And it's neutral. Of course it
Yeah.
is. Because it's all right. This is kind of the counter argument. Like at the moment with like R2P2, mislead is excellent, right? None of the character dices have higher than 3s. Sabine is the only character in the current meta that has a 3 side that is being actively played, and her decline has been massive over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
If I could play this today, I would. It's good. It's a fine removal card.
All right. Moving on.
Yeah.
Spell of removal.
That art is actually really nice. I really like
Yes,
that.
it's quite manga-ish, but
Oh no, I'm a weeb.
it's quite
Shit.
Eastern style, I think. But yeah, spell of removal. It's a blue villain event. Cost 1. Spot a blue character to discard the top card of the deck. If its cost is an odd number, remove a die. So obviously you're
Yeah.
playing this with Mother 10 Talzin.
Talzin and all that synergy. And in a Talzin deck, when you've built your deck to be nothing but odd numbers, it's going to be really good.
I mean, you've got to discard. Well, the thing is, you have to definitely. Oh yeah, you have
It's
to.
a
You
deck,
really
right?
want to discard the top card of your opponent's deck, if anything.
Yeah, but if you really need that removal,
Yeah, if it's
than
the bomber's
discarding one of your
six,
own
the
cards.
bomber's six indirect damage, then maybe go for it. But yeah,
Yeah. Like, I feel like when you're building a Townsend deck, you're going to really be dialing in on the odd numbers in your own deck because you can still play, like someone was saying, like I think it was on Tiny's podcast, right? Mike was saying about having Elite Vader, single die Townsend, and that allows you to every time you activate Townsend, focus one of Vader's dies to a 3 side, and now when you've got this card, you can just guarantee the same thing to remove your opponent's die. And maybe the Townsend deck is the deck where you start playing I'm going to look at your deck and start rearranging cards or pit one to the tops to have better control, because it would be better to discard your opponent's deck than your own. But if it came down, if that card just read, discard the top card of your deck, remove an opponent's die, I would play it.
Yeah.
So I think if you can build your deck around that, and especially that we're seeing with like the new melee weapons and the range weapons that are costing 3, and that will be the norm, I feel, going forward. And once all the first year stuff rotates out, it's just going to make things like Townsend so much better, because you're going to be playing all these more expensive cards, and the game's going to probably slow down a bit due to that.
Cool. So next is Image 23, Danny.
Image 23, Atari Strike, Ruthless Tactics. Yep, got it.
The Sith Temple.
Oh shit, you're right, Tiny.
So it is a neutral battlefield with a claim effect to remove one of your dice to deal 1 unblockable damage to a character. So it's kind of like, what's the other indirect? Mustafar is, and that's deal.
But that is just deal an unblockable damage to a character.
Yeah, and this one is you have to remove a die to do so. So
yeah, I feel it might be a really good benign battlefield. Okay, you can remove a blank to deal 1 damage, but how often is that going to happen?
Yeah, or just if you've got like just a random disrupt there that you're not worried about. I don't know. It's a cool battlefield, but it's one of those battlefields that will just fall by the wayside.
Yeah, it's in the draft pack, so you might see it a lot if you fail to draft battlefields. But battlefields most of them are common, so I'd be really surprised if you didn't see a couple of battlefields come up.
I think that's it, because I'm scrolling through the images and it just repeats.
Your opponent says to say where the damage goes on Mustafar. Yeah. James is trying to chime in, but we've already covered that. Boyo.
Yeah, that's the last one. All the images repeat.
Yeah, I was about to say, when I scrolled through earlier, it looked like it was all gonna just go round and round. So it's nice to see the spoilers ramping up ridiculously. I think it's pretty much confirmed that we're getting Legacies at the end of the week, which is just like FFG, just to drop something on us unexpectedly.
Oh, well, have we talked about free for all? Remove any number. It's not a number. It's you have to go to the packs. It's next to Doubt and White Wing. It's a Legacies card. It's a 1-cost yellow villain event. Remove any number of your dice, then deal indirect damage to an opponent equal to the number of dice you just removed.
Free for all. No, we haven't seen that. Remove any number of your dice and deal indirect damage to an opponent equal to the number of dice you just removed. So there's already a card that does something similar to that, isn't there? But it's not indirect.
Well, no, that's the red one, where you deal damage equal to the number of dice, and that's all support dice, is it? Or is it just all dice? But it's played in that Lando deck, which is all about the supports.
Okay.
There's another Scrap Heap. You had Scrap Heap. It's a 1-cost support location. Grey neutral. After you discard 1 or more card from an opponent's deck, you may exhaust the support to gain 1 resource. Scrap Heap is next to 80 DP and Lure of Power.
Yeah, I've got it up here. If people are shouting me to scroll up, I'm scrolling up. After you discard 1 or more cards from your opponent's deck, you may exhaust this support to gain a resource. That seems really good. Is it better than that yellow one, like Connections, the one where roll a special, gain a resource? I suppose it's neutral, so it's something villains can play, and so it goes in the Townsend decks as well. If you can set it up so you can discard a card from your opponent's deck, focus one of your die, and gain a resource, that seems really powerful. James is saying it's going straight in his Hungry Hippos, which I think is probably a good assessment for huge buyouts and crime lording.
Yeah, well, it's from deck, isn't it? So
Hmm.
Hungry Hippos, only way it discards from deck is with buyout.
And con artist.
And con artist, I guess, yeah. Or you could be a madman and play Java Django and use loose ends.
Yeah. Yeah, Wibble Master's got the idea. It's all about your Talisman deck with nothing but odd cards in, so you can just control and gain loads of money. James is saying Lothal Ascension Gun let you do it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and loose ends and no disintegrations, and there's all that kind of stuff lets you do it.
Cool. Some good shit.
Yeah, I'm really excited. So I guess we'll know the whole set by this time next week because we were playing with most of it. Just gonna double check. There's nothing else. No, that is everything.
And it does say purchase available, purchase from Friday the 15th in the United States.
Oh baby. Okay. Well, we'll wrap the video there, guys. Thanks for tuning in. As always, thanks to our Patreons who support us and make the show a little bit better. We get to host it on the internet, which is really nice. And we're recording this live from our weekly Twitch show, which is from 7 p.m. GMT to about 10ish. So we're probably wrapping up shortly after this video. But we'll catch you next time. Thank you.
Bye-bye.